I'm Cindy with APRO. I'm here with James MacAlpine. Hi, James.
Hi,
It's
Cindy.
great to see you, and thank you for having us.
My pleasure.
And James, you're Senior Vice President of Member Development with Nationwide.
Yep, just got promoted this year. New title, new responsibilities.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yesterday, I really enjoyed your talk, and you had so much information, and you always do. Can you speak to that a little bit about what's going on with our industry?
You know, there's so much going on in the industry, from what the national chains are going through and what some of the successful independents are doing. But even more than that, I mean, we spend a lot of time talking about, what the future of rent-to-own is likely to look like.
I know, you were talking a little bit about how the stores are going to be changing and maybe less inventory, more virtual sales, more online sales, and having to have a stronger presence with online sales. I think that's very important for the rental dealers to learn more about.
Right.
Talk about that a little bit, about how you see them trying to move into that.
Right. Well, I think what you're referring to is, as we were talking about the store of the future, and we really focused on three things. One was sort of this warehouse, this base of operations where you had one place for all of your stores that did, the deliveries, it did the product refurbishment. If you were big enough, maybe you had a service center there, but you ran all of your IT operations out of there and your marketing and your purchasing. But so that you have this base, this unit, and it could support stores depending on as far away as whatever your comfort level is. So I was, in the model that I drew up, I said you could go as far as 60 miles east, 60 miles west, so that gives you a 120-mile footprint either way. And, then when we focus on the stores, my point was that, a lot of times now rental dealers are paying, $12, $18, $24 per square foot for retail stores, but in reality, only about 50% of that store is used for retail. The other 15% is used, or the other 50% is a mix of office space or back room space. And, they're churning merchandise. My plans would be, or my suggestion would be that, we have a smaller store, say 1,500 to 2,000 square feet with a, display of electronics, appliances, and furniture, but make it a static showroom and make that store match exactly what you're advertising in your marketing materials and online. And then when we talked about furniture and displaying furniture, the point was that, so let's say that you have Ashley as one of your vendors. What I'm suggesting is you have one Ashley sofa there, and you have a kiosk that allows them to browse through, so they could sit on it and see if it's comfortable and if they like it. But go through your website and say, yes, I'd like that, and then you have to note that on your this kiosk whether or not that's in stock. Now, my plan, I would say you only have things on this kiosk that are in stock, because again, you've got this warehouse operation, not just the entire catalog that Ashley has. So, and then in my model also, I was saying I wouldn't have any trucks in these stores, and I'd run them with only two or three employees would probably be about the fewest that you would have, but these employees are more sales focused, more customer service focused. And again, if that's all they're doing, if they're processing new rentals and they're taking payments, the store should be spotless. And if it's a smaller footprint, we should have the ability then to move out of what some people would call a C or a B location into an A location, a much nicer shopping center perhaps,
right,
or in a better, more affluent part of town. So that's the second phase of it. And then the third phase of it was the online stuff. I mean, we have to, as an industry, change everything that we're doing there. We have to make the whole rental process online just as simple as press one button if you want to rent this. That's it. Mm-hmm. And the whole verification process, there's some really great things that some new technology that's coming out that's going to make that verification process even simpler. I think we need to embrace that. I think we, as an industry also, we have to embrace this philosophy of shop online, buy online, pay online, and save online. And the example that I sort of used to summarize everything at the end was, obviously we had this, showed the big slide about Blockbuster and how that was a great place to work 25 years ago, and at their peak they had 5,500 stores, and then now that whole industry has changed. People are still renting DVDs, but they're doing it in Redbox or they're doing it on Netflix. So I think that's where our industry is going. We just have to do everything we can to eliminate as much cost as possible. I think the whole big store operation thing, in some cases, somebody may be able to make that work, but I think that's something of the past. I think that our industry is going to change.
And it was good for me to see that, because I know at the APRO show, our boss Bill Keys is looking at that kind of a store.
Right.
So our dream store will have a lot of your concepts in there.
Right.
So it ties in just perfectly with our convention.
That's fantastic. Bill and I have spoken about that, and I'm anxious to see that also. And it's nice that as an industry we're kind of there's a lot of people that are starting to say, hey, listen, we've got to change.
Right.
And the fact that you guys are going to be able to show one of those stores like that is terrific.
Well, thank you, James. Thanks for the interview.
Sure, Cindy.
And thanks for having us.
Thank you to everybody else out there.